Hello, my name is Jonathan Soulen. Welcome to the SoulTrain. Today will be the last episode covering the Soulen name. However, it's a special episode because today we cover the life of Bogus Soulen. Yes, you heard that correctly. Real name, real man, real story. We'll call it the Ballad of Bogus Soulen. Hop on board. Welcome to the Ballad of Bogus Soulen. Well, where do you start with this one? Well, let's put him in context of the family tree. My grandfather, Harold Soulen, his father was Louis Soulen. Louis would be the youngest of the six children of the cruel Garrett Soulen. So there's Louis, his older brother William, uh, older brother John, older brother Henry, then Dora Soulen, and the oldest of the children would be George Soulen. Now, George, if you remember from an earlier episode, at the age of 12 years old, ran away from home due to the cruelty of his father and joined a traveling opera. He would eventually make his way to Colorado in the Durango area. He would marry Laura Anna McGregor, and they would have three children: Dora Vera, Elma Grace, and Garrett Alexander, who would become known as Bogus Soulen. Let me just pause here for a second and credit again my Uncle Bob for all of the research and compilation of this data that I have available at my fingertips, but also to credit his ability to reach out and connect with Virginia Bagnell Barta. Now, Virginia was the daughter of Elma Grace, so her uncle was Bogus Soulen. Virginia fell in love with genealogy in retirement, and she and Uncle Bob did a lot of research and coordination to try to fill in the information and gaps of these amazing people. So thank you to Virginia Barta. She passed away in 2018, but so much of this would not be possible without her love of genealogy and pulling all this wonderful information together. So let's take a look at a couple of photos, shall we? Here is George Garrett Soulen, the father. He bears responsibility, I'm 99% sure, for giving his son the nickname Bogus. Here's another photo of his wife, Laura Anna McGregor, and his two little girls. But this is the most interesting photo of them all. This is a family photo where the names and nicknames have been written on the photo. So if we take a look at this photo for a second, there's certainly some folks we don't know who they are, but it doesn't look like any of the children got away from a nickname by their father, George. There was Emma Grace, who was known as Bob. Dora Vera was known as Pete, and George Alexander was Bogus. Now, if this was all that we knew about Bogus Soulen, I wouldn't do a video, but it's not. We have a written document, typewriter written document, that summarizes many of the wild tales of Bogus by a friend. And if you read it, you'll see that Bogus was a cross between Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, and Forrest Gump. Neighbor and friend Lottie W. Reddert would go and visit Bogus and interview him and record his stories as she was learning how to use the typewriter. Let me just read to you the first paragraph. Bogus. Bogus had another name, but few people knew what it was. 'Tis said that the boy himself refused to answer to it when on the street his father once politely called him by the name given him at birth by his mother. The years slipped by with the boy desperately to live up to his nickname, and leaving the man to retire with reminiscences that rival those of Peck's Bad Boy. Yes, I had to look up Peck's Bad Boy too. Bogus would be described as awkward and shy among the fairer sex. He would live alone, and this really cool photo is his relatives visiting him at his shack. Notice the roof is made of flattened tin cans. Here's another photo of older Bogus in his favorite blue chair. And I'd just like to show a map of where Mancos, Colorado is. It's to the west of Durango. And as we close this profile of Bogus, here's his headstone. Interestingly, it simply reads Garrett A. And is located in the Cedar Grove Cemetery in Mancos, Colorado. So that concludes our profile on Bogus Soulen. His full story, as written up, I will post on the Drive. It's a really fun and interesting read. So if you're interested in some pure Colorado Americana, it's worth a read. So Bogus Soulen, Garrett Alexander, a life lived on his own terms. Until next time, this is the Soul Train.
State of Arkansas, where my great-grandpa met my great-grandma. They drink apple cider and they get on a jag, and they dance all night to the salty dog rag. They play an old fiddle like you never heard before. They play the only tune that they ever did know. It's a ragtime ditty and the rhythm don't drag. Now here's the way you dance to the salty dog rag.